Hello everyone and welcome to Destination Church Belfast's weekly video message. I want to say thank you to Andrew for giving the weekly video message last week, and also thank you for everyone who logged in. Hopefully you got to share your Just Eat voucher with a friend from DCB, and then we got to spend time together at our DCB Christmas celebration. That was just wonderful. Thank you so much for coming online to do that. I also want to say I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas just a couple of days ago. Hard to believe it comes so quickly and goes so very quickly too. And I hope that you were able to enjoy what God was giving in the presence of the negative reality of Christmas not being quite the same as it's been before. And we're now at the end of the year, and a few weeks ago I had encouraged us all to take stock of the year that's gone past. It is so important that we process our lives in a healthy way, because there are so many other ways to process life in unhealthy ways, to numb the pain, to try and forget the experiences with a myriad of tonics, or to simply try and ignore distress or trauma or any negative experience that we go through, as well as missing, celebrating and marking the wonderful, joyous moments that also make up our lives. Jesus came to bring us life, and he came to bring us life in all its fullness. And we can only ever effectively process our lives with God, so that as we love God and put him and his interests first, all things work together for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purposes. So if you haven't already, set aside half an hour, invite the Spirit of God, and remember with him the year that's gone past without editing what you remember, and begin the process of taking stock of the year that has just happened. And here we are as of 12:01 a.m. this morning in another lockdown, tighter than the lockdowns we've experienced before. And if you're like me, even though this isn't our first rodeo, it's all changed again, and it's tough. And today I want to speak to you about hope in the end. Many years ago, I went on a creative course. I was so pleased to get on it. And when it finished, it involved us pitching to a group of nearly like Dragon's Den type investors the product that we had, or the idea that we had. And they had to consider our pitch, and if they saw a product that would potentially bring a healthy return to them, that it might warrant them offering their investment of their time and their money. My idea was to have a devotional book that was simply photographs overlaid with verses from the Bible. And one of the slides that I used was an image with Ecclesiastes 7:8 written over it. And Ecclesiastes 7:8 says this: "The end of the matter is better than its beginning." And one of the investors was really irritated by this statement, and he asked me the question, how do you know that that's true? And I'm confident that in that moment I tried to answer, but it probably wasn't that effective. And in reflection, his question was based on his understanding that there is no absolute truth. And as Andrew Montgomery made me aware of, that in itself is an absolute statement. We as believers in Jesus Christ believe in absolute truth. Jesus tells us the truth. You'll read that so many times throughout the Bible. He says, "I tell you the truth." Jesus tells us the truth. The Father and the Spirit tell us the truth, because he's called the Spirit of truth, and God the Father is the Father of all truth. God is right. He is correct. He has full understanding. He is never in error. He never gets things wrong. He sees around every corner and understands absolutely and completely what is hidden in darkness. His vision is complete. And because he is outside of time, he is never limited by it. He is absolute. And what is even better is, you and I don't yet quite understand how very, very, very good he is. So let me present these verses to you today. And there is potential in or of a healthy return should you choose to invest. And I would encourage you to invest your trust in the one whose words they are. This is Ecclesiastes 7 verses 8 to 10. The end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. Do not be quickly provoked in your spirit, for anger resides or settles in the lap of fools. Do not say, why were the old days better than these? For it is unwise of you to ask about this. So much has happened, hasn't it? We've all experienced 9 months of unprecedented circumstances. We don't know when, but it will end. And you and I have been in a process that we had no idea that we were going to go through. The end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. So let's tackle pride first. You and I don't know. Many others think that they do, but we don't. God does. This season has invited all of us to not lean on our own understanding. It's tempting to lean on the understanding of others, but in reality, all we have is to trust God and to acknowledge as we walk on and discover our paths become straighter as we trust in Him. We need to be intentional in being patient. If we're impatient, we will be provoked and we will react and we will become angry in our foolishness. Now, I know that I'm not alone, but have you got that t-shirt too? Where we are now is a better place than where we were when it began, because we have experiences we did not have before. And if we've partnered with God in the process, we may have experienced loss, pain, and incredible difficulty, but we will have gained treasure that cannot be stolen. We would be wise to not try and escape to the past, because it's past. Where we are is now, and God is here, and His grace actually is enough. The psalmist says in Psalm 84:10, better is one day in your courts than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of the wicked. Let what you've heard so many times be dusted off and renewed for you. Hear it again, receive it in your spirit again, and let the truth empower your spirit to lead your soul and your body. His grace is enough. You have absolutely everything you need in Him, and His power will be perfected in your weakness. And He will work everything together for the good of those who love Him and are called to His purpose. At the end of this year, with the prospect of several more weeks of lockdown, I want to call us to hope, to trust, and to have peace as a result. That God is good, and that the end of this matter will be much better than its beginning. Hebrews 12:1 says this, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw everything that hinders and the sin that so very easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. We've got to keep running, because it's going to be so much better in the end. So let's take a moment to respond to this message now. Let me invite you to close your eyes and to open out your body language and just to be still. Holy Spirit, we recognize your presence right here and right now, and we ask that you would increase your presence too. God, all of us have experienced pain and loss and difficulty in this process that we've been in. But we also trust in your word that the end of this matter will be better than its beginning, and that being patient is so much better than reacting out of pride. And God, we say today that we trust you. No matter what fears enter our hearts or our minds, we choose to trust you, that you are able to lead us even far better than our ability to follow you. That you know who we are and what we're like. You know us fully, and one day we'll know ourselves the way that you know us. So God, we ask that this would be a special and profound moment. that we would stop looking around to the advice of others all the time, and we would lean ourselves on you, that we would forget our own understanding and lean our understanding on you. God, we know that you have said that those who keep their minds focused on you will have perfect peace. So God, we trust you and we love you, and we say thank you for what you are giving today, and we know that your grace is enough. So let me give you some encouragements on what to do to be able to receive everything that you can from this message. Look back over the past year with God, giving thanks for all the good and taking time to process the negative with him. Remember that a deceptive tongue crushes you, Proverbs 15:4. So if you're feeling crushed or slimed from a negative experience, someone somewhere is lying to you. Go after God to find the truth, because it will set you free. Take some time, set aside some time to meditate on that verse in Ecclesiastes 7:8, that the end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience is better than pride. And consider if you have chosen, will you choose to invest in that truth about the future? And if you do so, or if you look at the prospect of doing so, how does that affect you today? Another question to ask yourself is there anywhere you have been impatient or have been acting in pride and leaning on your own understanding? And let me encourage you to sit with God and let the hope that he has flood you. Let me encourage you to expect much more from God. Sometimes I think that we go, okay, well, it's all right. I guess I feel a little bit better. But he has everything that you need. So why wouldn't we come and bang down his door with a tenacity and a fervour and a shamelessness and say, God, I have some lack here. You promised that I wouldn't have any. I need it. Please give it to me now. And I come in your son's name. That takes courage, and that takes confidence, and that takes us to be bold. But aren't we encouraged to boldly approach the throne of grace? Finally, keep running. It's going to be better in the end. This will end. And if we choose to be patient, then we won't act in pride, and anger will not be straight within us and on our laps and settling around us. Just a couple of items of business this week. On Sunday the 3rd of January, it's our first opportunity in 2021 to share communion together, and I'll be given my prophetic sense of the year ahead, and then the following week, Sunday the 10th of January, Andrew will give his prophetic sense for the year ahead. And it's always really exciting to give that message, and it's always really exciting and very interesting, especially in light of the year that we've had, when last year we prophesied that it was a year of grace and balance, and just looking at that in light of the year that's gone by. So let me encourage you to log on for that, and I will send you the log on details for that Zoom beforehand via email. So if you want in on that, then please send me an email to colin.destinationchurch@gmail.com. The next weekly video update will be Wednesday the 6th of January. And until then, please know, as always, as I've said throughout these past 9 months, that my digital door is always open, and all you need to do is send me a text or give me a call, and if I can't pick up, then I will respond to you, of course. So enjoy the rest of Christmas and have a great week. Bye for now.